At 2:17 a.m., the paramedics stepped over rose petals soaked in blood. On the kitchen floor of a modest brick house on the east side of town, a man lay motionless beside a stack of handwritten letters tied together with a red ribbon. The front door was unlocked. The neighbors said they heard shouting, then a crash, then silence. By sunrise, the story was already spreading. Domestic dispute, they whispered. But what they didn't know was that those letters weren't love letters, they were evidence. And this story doesn't begin with blood, it begins with devotion. Nia Robinson believed in forever. At 28, she carried herself with a quiet strength, the kind built from watching her mother work double shifts and still find time to braid her hair before school. She wasn't naive, she was hopeful. And when Marcus Hale walked into her life, hope felt justified. Marcus was polished, charismatic, a rising city councilman with a smile that made rooms lean toward him. He spoke about justice reform, about rebuilding neglected neighborhoods, about protecting black families. And when he looked at Nia, he made her feel seen. The letters started 3 months after they met, handwritten, thoughtful, quoted poetry from Maya Angelou. He told her she was the future he prayed for. He promised her a home filled with laughter, protection, partnership. She kept every single one. Because when you grow up watching love fall apart, you cling tightly when it finally feels right. But here's what no one tells you about powerful men. Sometimes the protection they promise is the cage they're building. The first crack appeared quietly. Marcus began asking questions disguised as concern. Who was that texting you? Why do you need to stay late at work? You know people envy what we have, right? Nia laughed it off at first. Love makes you generous with excuses. She told herself he was stressed from campaigning. The election was close. Pressure changes people. Then the bruises started. Not dramatic, not obvious. A grip too tight on her wrist. A shove that left her shoulder aching. An apology that came wrapped in tears. "I just don't want to lose you," he'd whisper. And every time he followed it with another letter. Longer, sweeter, more desperate. By then, Marcus wasn't just a councilman. He was the front-runner for mayor. And Nia had become the silent woman standing beside him at rallies, smiling through carefully applied foundation. Here's where the power shift begins. Because Nia wasn't weak, she was observant. And one night, while Marcus slept, his phone lit up on the dresser. A message preview. She's starting to ask questions. Her stomach tightened. She didn't scream. She didn't confront him. She waited. The next morning, she told him she was visiting her cousin. Instead, she drove to the public library and logged in to an email account she had created months earlier, back when the first bruise appeared. That's when she began scanning the letters, every single one. And that's when she saw it. Patterns, dates, references to deliveries and meetings hidden between romantic metaphors. Marcus wasn't just writing poetry, he was communicating in code. The love letters weren't declarations, they were transactions. Nia started cross-referencing dates with public records, city contracts, real estate transfers, donations to Marcus's campaign. Every "I can't wait to build with you" coincided with property acquisitions in a neighborhood slated for redevelopment. Every "our future is secured" aligned with funds moving through shell organizations. The letters weren't about love, they were about laundering money, and she had been the vault. Now pause for a second. Imagine the betrayal. The man promising to protect your community, exploiting it. The man promising to protect you, using you as cover. Nia didn't cry. She printed everything, made copies, stored them in 3 separate places, because growing up in her neighborhood taught her one thing: power doesn't fall quietly, it fights back. 3 weeks later, Marcus announced his official mayoral bid. Cameras flashed, supporters cheered, and standing beside him, smiling in a gold dress, was Nia. But this time, she wasn't just the girlfriend. She was the storm he didn't see coming. That night, when the rally ended, Marcus was electric with confidence. "We did it. This city is ours." Ours. That word echoed differently now. Inside the house, the argument began softly. Nia placed the stack of letters on the kitchen table. "Tell me what these really are." Marcus froze. For the first time, his smile didn't reach his eyes. "You went through my things?" "Answer the question." Silence stretched. Then the mask slipped. "You don't understand how the world works," he said coldly. "This is how change happens. You think anyone gets to the top clean?" "And the bruises?" she asked quietly. "Is that how change happens too?" His jaw tightened. "You benefited from this."
That was the moment she understood. He didn't see her as a partner. He saw her as collateral. The shouting escalated. A glass shattered. Neighbors later said they heard something heavy hit the floor. At 2:17 a.m., paramedics stepped over rose petals soaked in blood. Marcus Hale lay on the kitchen tile, one fatal stab wound, the knife still inches from his hand. And Nia? She was sitting against the wall, hands raised, whispering the same sentence over and over. "He said no one would believe me." But here's the twist no one saw coming. The letters weren't just evidence of corruption. They documented threats. In coded language, yes, but clear enough when placed together. Statements like, "If you ever leave, everything falls apart. Remember who holds the power. You don't want to see what happens when I lose control." Nia's lawyer argued self-defense. And when forensic reports revealed Marcus's fingerprints on the knife handle, when security footage from a neighbor's camera showed him lunging first, when financial investigators uncovered the laundering scheme tied to the letters, the narrative changed. The golden candidate became a fallen tyrant, and Nia Robinson, she became the woman who survived him. The court ruled it justifiable self-defense. Campaign funds were seized. Corrupt associates were indicted. The neighborhoods Marcus planned to exploit received federal oversight instead. Justice didn't roar. It unfolded, quietly, deliberately, inevitably. But here's the life lesson. Love without accountability is not love. Power without integrity is violence waiting for an opportunity. And sometimes the very thing meant to silence you becomes the evidence that sets you free. Nia kept one letter, just one, not as a memory of him, but as a reminder of herself. Because survival isn't weakness, it's strategy. Yet, even as the city moved on, even as headlines declared the case closed, there was one detail investigators never publicly explained. One name mentioned repeatedly in Marcus's coded letters. A name that didn't belong to Nia. A name tied to donations larger than any councilman could control. And last week, Nia received a new envelope. No return address. Inside was a single sheet of paper. 3 words. "You forgot about me." Those were the 3 words staring back at Nia Robinson. Same red ribbon, same thick paper, same handwriting style Marcus used in his coded letters. But Marcus was dead, and someone else was watching. The envelope had no return address, no postage stamp, hand-delivered. That meant one thing. Whoever sent it knew where she lived, and they weren't afraid. Nia didn't scream. She didn't panic. She did what she'd learned to do. She documented, photographed the envelope, logged the time, bagged it in plastic, called her attorney. Then she called the one person who had quietly helped dismantle Marcus Hale's empire, Detective Aaron Cole. Yes, the same detective who had testified that the forensic evidence proved Marcus lunged first. The same man who had followed the money trail hidden inside those love letters. He answered on the second ring. "I was hoping you wouldn't call me again," he said. "Me too," Nia replied. "But you need to see this." Here's where the story shifts, because Marcus Hale wasn't the top of the pyramid. He was the front-facing smile, the charismatic shield. And when financial investigators cracked his shell companies open, they found something disturbing. Funds flowing upward, not downward. Millions routed into a private infrastructure consortium tied to redevelopment contracts across 3 states. And at the top of that consortium, a name Marcus had mentioned repeatedly in his letters. Elias Monroe, a donor, a philanthropist, a man praised on stage for investing in urban revitalization, a man who had never once been questioned publicly. Until now. Detective Cole met Nia at a quiet cafe outside the city. She slid the envelope across the table. He stared at the red ribbon like it was a ghost. "Monroe," he whispered. "You think it's him?" Cole exhaled slowly. "I think Marcus was protecting someone, and now that he's gone, that someone feels exposed. And exposed people do dangerous things." The next 48 hours felt like a chess match. Nia's car was followed twice. Her social media accounts were hit with coordinated harassment. Anonymous articles began circulating online questioning the validity of her self-defense claim. The narrative was shifting, again. This wasn't just intimidation, it was reputation warfare. And Elias Monroe had resources Marcus could only dream of. Private security, media influence, political connections. He wasn't going to stab someone in a kitchen. He was going to erase her in public. If you've made it this far, hit subscribe right now, because what happened next proves that silence is the most expensive mistake you can make.
Nia refused to stay quiet. Instead of hiding, she did something unexpected. She went live. No dramatic lighting, no production team. Just her, a camera, and a scanned copy of every letter Marcus ever wrote. But this time, she wasn't decoding them alone. She brought receipts, highlighted transactions, timeline overlays, donation patterns tied to Monroe's consortium. She showed how neighborhoods were quietly bought out before redevelopment announcements, how families were displaced, how Marcus's campaign promises aligned perfectly with Monroe's investment spikes. And then she held up the final envelope. "You forgot about me." The live stream exploded, hundreds of thousands watching in real time, comments flooding in. Former city employees began messaging anonymously. A contractor came forward with internal documents. An accountant, Monroe's accountant, requested whistleblower protection. That was the crack, the first real crack. 3 days later, federal agents executed search warrants at Monroe's corporate headquarters. News vans lined the street. This time, there was no smiling press conference, no polished speech, just agents carrying out boxes labeled financial records. And here's the twist no one expected. Inside Monroe's private office safe, they found copies of Marcus's letters, annotated, with notes in Monroe's handwriting, strategic notes. Use emotional leverage. Keep her close. Destroy if unstable. Nia wasn't collateral. She was part of a containment strategy. Marcus had been instructed to keep her emotionally tethered because proximity meant control, and control meant silence. The arrest happened quietly at 6:12 a.m. Elias Monroe was charged with conspiracy, wire fraud, witness intimidation, and obstruction of justice. The same man who smiled at ribbon-cutting ceremonies. The same man who pledged millions to rebuild broken communities. In cuffs. No speech. No cameras invited. Just reality. But here's where it becomes personal. During Monroe's arraignment, prosecutors played an audio file recovered from Marcus's encrypted cloud storage. A conversation between Marcus and Monroe weeks before the stabbing. Marcus sounded anxious. "She's figuring things out," Marcus said. Monroe's voice was calm. "Then remind her who she belongs to." The courtroom went silent. That wasn't political corruption. That was ownership language. That was strategy. That was a system built on domination. Nia closed her eyes as it played. Not in fear, in release. Because the world finally heard what she had lived. Monroe's legal team tried to spin it, tried to frame Nia as manipulative, tried to suggest she orchestrated everything. But the digital trail was too clean. The letters, the bank transfers, the threats, the envelope, and the final blow. Security footage from a private courier service placing a similar red ribbon envelope into Monroe's vehicle trunk days before Nia received hers. Intimidation attempt. Direct link. Game over. Months later, Monroe was convicted. 32 years. No early parole. Assets seized. Consortium dissolved. Federal oversight expanded across redevelopment projects. Communities once targeted for quiet displacement received restitution funds. Justice didn't just serve Nia, it echoed. And Nia? She moved. New state, new home, quiet life. But she didn't disappear. She started an organization helping women document abuse safely and legally, teaching them strategy, teaching them patience, teaching them that survival isn't about screaming the loudest. It's about gathering proof when no one is looking. Because sometimes justice doesn't arrive through revenge. It arrives through exposure. But here's the final detail, the part that lingers. The envelope Monroe sent, it wasn't the first one. Detective Cole later confirmed 2 others had been intercepted by federal investigators during the widening probe. Both addressed to Nia. Both containing variations of the same message. You're not finished. Which means Monroe wasn't just threatening her. He was scared of something she hadn't revealed yet. Because there was one letter Nia never uploaded. One Marcus wrote the week before he died. One that didn't reference money, or Monroe, or politics. It referenced a meeting with someone described only as the judge. No name, no explanation. And that judge still sits on the bench, still presiding, still powerful. Nia keeps that letter locked away. For now. Because justice was served. But power rarely travels alone. And sometimes, the final secret isn't the crime. It's who allowed it to happen. If you believe power always leaves clues, what detail in the letters stood out to you the most? If you believe Nia is still holding back evidence, should she release it or wait for the right moment? If this story shocked you, if it made you angry, if it made you think twice about power and manipulation, comment your thoughts below. I read them. Share this video with someone who needs to hear this story. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel for more chilling, gripping, and eye-opening true crime stories you won't hear anywhere else. Because sometimes, the truth doesn't end when the camera turns off.